Hi, you've clicked on to today's tropical tidbit for Tuesday. It's mid-May. It's that time of year now to start looking for our first evidence of tropical mischief in the typical pre-season and early season breeding grounds. This is the MJO forecast from the GFS. We're currently well into quadrant 6 here with a strong MJO signature, lots of upward motion over the Central Pacific. That's why the SOI has crashed into the negatives in the dailies over the last few days. This is going to be coming around, and look at where the GFS winds it up in. Very strong in quadrant 8 here during the next the last week of May or so, and it's not alone. We've got the UK Met showing the same kind of thing, and the European getting really aggressive over here in octant 8. This is the octant that will support upward motion over the Eastern Pacific and the Western Caribbean. And indeed, here's the GFS showing between days 5 and 10 and 15, lots of green showing up in the Atlantic and the Eastern Pacific. And what's interesting about this is what's going to be happening at the same time is this trough that's currently over the southwest United States, digging in deep, is going to be coming eastward, bringing a lot of severe weather with it as it comes. But more importantly, regarding the tropics, this ridge over here is going to be building across the top, and as the trough in the east lifts out, this is going to become our first big trough split of the year. And as this comes across, it's going to get stuck down here with lots of ridging over the top of it. And this is the Europeans' depiction of it by day 8, is it's going to be sitting all the way down here. Look at the negative height anomalies centered over the northeast Gulf of Mexico. Big ridge south of Hudson Bay just to the north of it here, and this trough right here left it behind, is moving out to the northeast, and this is sitting behind and being left back slowly westward or northwestward. And what eventually happens is this ridge comes a little bit farther east, this big trough digs in and tries to pick this up and brings it a little bit northwest and then on out, but it stays down here for a couple of days. And when this lifts out like this, what it's doing is you get these things that dig down in here. You start to stimulate upper divergence on the southeastern flank of these things. And so as this sits here, we're going to start increasing the upward motion here at the same time that the MJO is coming in. So these things are getting coordinated, and then as this lifts out, you're going to allow low pressure and upper divergence to spread northward in the wake of this in the Western Caribbean and the Eastern Pacific. And another interesting thing about this is, here's the surface map for the same time at day 8. Notice that there's a surface low sitting right here over Tampa to the southeast of this upper low here, not quite vertically stacked. Now this is generally a baroclinic environment. There is some sort of a temperature gradient over the southeast United States at this time, so this is more of a baroclinic low, but you know, it's mid to late May, surface low over the Gulf of Mexico, and it hangs in there. Here's the next day, Eastern Gulf still there. Day 10, it's still there, and now this is starting to come back as this trough comes in and tries to lift it back northward into the continental United States. So this is probably more of a baroclinic deal, but still, a surface low over the Gulf of Mexico in mid to late May is still something worth keeping an eye out for, so we'll have to see how that turns out. But more interestingly, take a look at what happens here. At this time frame at day 8, here's the GFS Ensemble's depiction of the monsoon trough down here all the way south of Panama, generally pressed pretty far south, pretty dry in the Caribbean, lots of precipitation all the way south at near 5 latitude. And then look what happens just a week later as the upper trough pulls out to the north. Watch what happens. Look at the massive shield of precipitation that spreads northward in the wake of the upper low that backs towards the northwest, and as it happens, it allows low pressure, upper divergence, and precipitation to spread northward. And so we're going to have to watch the Eastern Pacific for their first development, and we may have to watch also the Western and Southwest Caribbean for the possibility of some mischief along with this as the MJO comes roaring across with a very strong signal, along with this first trough split that comes down here into the northeast Gulf and then lifts northwestward, is a great setup for stimulation of mischief down here. And we'll have to watch to see if we get some preseason activity. Excuse my voice today. So we'll keep watching for that, and we're marching on towards the season. 20 days left. It's almost here. Alright, that's it for today. Thanks for watching.